Hi everybody! In today's video we're going to be doing fried breadcrumbs. It's a great salad topper, pasta garnish, lovely snack, and it's a great way to utilize that stale bread that you have from the bakery. I got some stale bread from Grand Central Bakery the other day. It was just given to me from a friend. So it's really important to get baker's bread versus store-bought bread like Fran's or Wonder Bread or whatever those other types are. You always want to use baker's bread. Baker's bread has a different texture and flavor, and it will behave differently. It's more delicious in the end. So what you're going to want to do is cut off the breadcrumbs. Cut off the crust. You can do this part before it dries out. I just didn't have time to do it before it dried out, so I just sliced mine up real quick, and then now I'm just removing the crust. You want to remove the crust because the ends will burn before the innards brown. That's why you have to remove them. You can save this for another item, like maybe some stuffing, or discard it. All you gotta do is just chop everything up. Do not use a food processor for this because you might over pulverize the breadcrumbs and then they won't have the nice texture that we're going for. So I always use either like a knife or throw them in a bag with like a rolling pin or something. I always just use a knife because then I can have control over the size of crumb I'm going to have. This is messy business, but it'll be worth it. So now we have this sort of crummy, random shape of breadcrumb, and this will be super intriguing to our experience when we're eating like pasta or salad. Textures and shapes are really fun to chow down on. So I'm just gonna put a liberal amount of oil in my hot pan. That might be too much. Maybe about a couple of tablespoons. And then I'm just gonna put my stale breadcrumbs in the pan. We're just gonna let this cook on medium-high for as long as it takes. I think it's gonna be about 10 minutes, but we'll see. Your end result will be nice and like a nice caramely toasted, like the stuff that's happening down here. Let's give it a mix. Oh yeah. It's really fun to put things like maybe like garlic oil in place of avocado oil and stuff like this, adding more flavor. One of the secrets to any good crouton or breadcrumb is a liberal amount of salt. You have to have enough salt. It should be salty, not too salty. Boy, this is going fast. And it looks like it's about toasted. So I'm just gonna let everything cool in this pie pan and then come back to it later. So these breadcrumbs have completely cooled, and I wanted to mention that some of the larger pieces seemed chewy as I was toasting them. Don't worry about that. Just make sure everything's nice and colored and then lay it down to cool. Any residual water left over will dissipate and you'll be left with like delicious crunchy croutons. So don't even worry about that. If you want to know what I am doing with these breadcrumbs today, stay tuned. Click this next video and join me for another delicious recipe. See ya in a minute.